everyone. Welcome to Pod Maverick. My name is Kirk Henderson, joined by Josh Bowe. We are editors at Mavs Moneyball. We are coming to you at pretty much exactly midnight. I guess that makes it Saturday, November 29th. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I was gonna send this tweet out before the game started, but I just didn't do it because I don't do anything. Like, it was just like funny. I was sitting there like the games of like 2 hours before tip off or whatever. I'm just like, oh my god, like we got like what a promo for Pod Maverick this would be. Like tune in tonight live, our first West Coast game in forever. After both of us are fucking beat to shit because we're tired as hell and just personal lives, trying to get through the holidays. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I just drove in from out of town. Like I got it back into town at like 5:30. So it's like, I was like, this is either going to be the most low energy, boring show we've ever done, or one of us is going to say something that gets us in trouble with Mavericks employees. Like,
shout out to
which one's it going to be?
Well, shout out to just a bold creation in the chat saying y'all sound dead.
Yeah, man, I'm fucking dead. I am. I'm toast. I got nothing for you.
The funny part is, like, we needed those 3 days. Like, if they would have had a game over those 3 days, you would have gotten an even worse performance from us than you would have gotten tonight. Because I'll at least say this: the Mavericks went out and lost the Los Angeles Lakers 129-119. And in my range of outcomes for this game, I could never have predicted, and I mean this seriously, these two teams are two of the worst 6 3-point shooting teams in the NBA. Okay. I expected a rock fight that the Lakers would pull away from at some point, just sort of bludgeoning the Mavericks to death. And what we got was a really fun game, to be quite honest with you, for what I was hoping for. I'm going to be interested. It's like I can see some of the chat, Brian, and some of the other people are I think we're pretty pissy about that game because you know what, you want the Mavericks to beat the Lakers. Just that's an institutional thing where if you are a person that is not a fair weather dumbass, you hate the Lakers with an emotional fervor because they are a good franchise that has good things happen to them. But I'll tell you this, I was sort of expecting the Mavericks to get boat raced. I mean, they were 10.5-point underdogs until AD got it was announced that he was playing, and his insertion into the starting lineup moved the line by 1 point to 9.5 points. And then the Mavericks came out and played, I think, the quarter that I'm most interested in. Like they had a kind of rough first quarter, 28-22. Lakers just sort of went off in the last 3 minutes after the Mavericks has done an okay job for most of the quarter. Second quarter, the Mavericks scored 40 points. This is their best offensive quarter of the season. They scored 7 points from the free throw line. They got into the bonus with about 8 minutes and 30 seconds left, but they didn't march to the line. They just kept scoring. And I'm really, how the fuck did that happen? Do you have any takes there? Were you watching closely enough to really be like, what was going on here?
The answer's no. I mean, they made shots. That's a big part of it. I mean, they made 14 threes tonight. I don't know how many they made in the second quarter. They were 9 of 15 from mid-range. Ryan Nembhard made a bunch of he had a lot to do with that. He made a bunch of mid-range shots.
Jeez.
Yeah, they took 15 mid-rangers, which is not ideal, but they made them. I mean, they made 60% of them, which is great. If you're going to take that many, you better make that many. And they did. I think Ryan Nembhard was a big part of that. They kept the turnovers down in the second quarter.
They only had one, and that was huge.
That's huge. That's everything really for them.
They only had they finished the game with, I think, like 11, maybe. How many turnovers in the game?
11. At least 11. Yeah, it looks like 11. How many has a team? Hold on. Yeah, they had
6 in the first quarter. Is why I know this because I wrote that down. I mean,
they had 11 total turnovers. So the fact that 5 for the final 3 quarters is like really good, like really, really good.
Yeah. And
so that helps.
I just didn't, look. Anybody that's followed this podcast long enough has a pretty good feeling about what we think about basketball and what we think about what the Mavericks are capable of doing, so forth. This game, if anything, I wrote this as my lead point in the recap, is this game was a repudiation of Nico Harrison's understanding of basketball. And I mean that sincerely, because the Mavericks came into this game second in the league in defensive rating this season, and 30th in offense. And what did I'll put it to, I didn't even write LeBron James's name in my recap, I don't think, because he was so inconsequential to this game, because Luka and Reeves just throttled the Mavericks. They hit 22 of 33 field goals. They went to the line and hit 19 of 20 free throws and scored 73 points on the Dallas Maverick number 2 defense. Now, I'll be honest. I thought the Mavericks defense wasn't horrible, and that speaks to why I call this a repudiation of Nico Harrison's basketball philosophy, because offensive creation off the dribble means more than great defense. It beats it. It's the way the NBA is structured. Until they start allowing more physicality regularly, offensive stuff off the dribble wins. It just does. And the way the Lakers play too, where it's Mavericks get up, they started the third quarter and they had the Lakers in a blender. They were up 96 to 62. And the Lakers were struggling with the Mavericks size, because the Mavericks were doing some nice entry action from the wings into the elbows and then diving. They're just doing some nice stuff offensively, I thought. And then all of a sudden the Lakers are up 76 to 73. And it's like 4 possessions.
Yeah, it was, I don't know. The defense was weird. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of, what are you going to do takes from this game? Like, the Lakers hit 51% of their threes. What are you going to do? You're just not going to win. And yeah, that's part of it.
True.
But that's part of it. But also the Mavericks, I think literally the first possession of the game is indicative of the Mavericks defense. They doubled Luka at half court right after the opening tip, and Austin Reeves made a wide open 3-pointer. They doubled Luka a lot, and it didn't matter, because doubling Luka is, again, the worst defensive strategy in basketball.
Jason Kidd, are you listening?
Austin Reeves and LeBron had so many just practice quality open threes. The Lakers definitely, Luka threw in a couple. Reeves made actually, pretty couple of tough ones. But you know what? When you give players wide open threes, kind of gives them the confidence to then make the tough ones. And the Lakers opened the game with a bevy of open threes.
Rui Hachimura missed so many open threes in the first half.
Right. So, they doubled Luka, and they're like, we're going to let, it felt like when Kidd did that, to me, that was like, okay, we don't care if we win or lose. We don't want Luka to have another 50 bomb on us, and we don't want to get embarrassed. But what happened was they were so bad at it. Like, not only did they give up open threes to everyone else, their doubles were so bad. Luka still had 30. What did he? He still had 35 points. So their goal of not letting Luka go off scoring wise, that didn't work, because their double teams were awful. I know people hate Dwayne Wade, huh?
Okay, go. No, you were hitting what I was going to say. Go.
Yeah. I know people hate Dwayne Wade, and I'm sure they didn't appreciate having to listen to him commentary all night, but he made the best point I've heard a broadcaster make since I've been watching, nationally in this season, when he talked about, he's like, I don't know what they're doing with Daniel Gafford, having him show so high on these screen and rolls defensively, because he's getting cooked. And they were talking to him, him and Candace were talking about, like, the whole point of a double team is to slow down the ball handler and push him farther back from the rim. Mm-hmm. And the Mavericks double teams were getting Luka closer to the rim, because the big man was just, I don't know what Gafford and Davis were doing. And Luka just dribbled right around him and got to the basket.
Well, and at one point, Luka got doubled by Gafford and put a stiff arm into him and put Gafford on his ass. Yeah. And we've had a lot of reminders the last several games that Gafford is 6'9" and about 225 pounds. I don't really care what his weight is. Luka's bigger than he is. And so it's like Gafford just has these limitations, and the Maverick strategy of, like, let's expose our own defense's limitations drive me fucking crazy. I mean, I wasn't mad at it. Like, this was a game where I came in expecting the Mavericks to lose. And not only did I think they actually played pretty well, but you sort of saw, like, the entire flaw behind the game, the team building as a whole. I mean, Ryan Nembhard starting an NBA game is an indictment on the team building. Sorry, he's not bad nor good. He's 5'10". And I was talking to somebody in the live streamer on who's like, yeah, he's good. He's an NBA player. And I'm like, he is. But if you want to make the playoffs, he's not on your roster.
He's not your starting point guard.
That's all. Yes, that's right. It's and it sounds so disrespectful, but when we were covering a team that was in the finals 18 months ago or whatnot, I'm feeling a little disrespectful. That's all.
No, yeah. And he was great offensively, but yeah, I mean, you set a screen on him and he goes into the phantom zone. Yeah. So and then that's not his fault. He's a 5'9" rookie 2-way contract.
They didn't pick on him at all.
No, they could have picked on him more.
The Lakers did not pick on him.
They picked on the bigs more. They picked on Davis a little bit and Gafford, stringing those guys out away from the rim. Davis was good. We should talk. This is Davis's first game in like a month. He was good at the rim defensively. Like he had some really nice
he played 5
block shots. And honestly, yeah, this was 1,000% improvement over what we saw before he got hurt. I mean, he looked in shape. He was getting up and down the floor. Offensively, he only took 1 3. I think he took like 2 or 3 mid-range shots. He made one of them. Basically, like what I'm looking for him is like, okay, look, he can't guard in space, and like even when he was good with the Lakers, he hasn't been able to guard in space since he was in New Orleans. Like people just need to let that go. So like a team bombing a Davis-led defense away from 3. It's kind of like built into the expectation a little bit because that's what you want to do with Davis because he's so good at the rim. Like, what do? You pull him away from the rim because he's just not the same as he was when his first couple of years in New Orleans when he was, just a super freak because he's just had 1,000 lower body injuries and he doesn't move on the perimeter the same way he used to when he was 24.
Thinner,
but yeah, he looked better. He looks significantly better. Yeah. To me, this game was like, can he move and can he not junk up the offense? And check mark. Did both.
Well, the coolest play he had. So there are a couple of instances where like Cooper, one of the things that's just so fun about Cooper is Cooper takes the ball and goes. He might not go full speed, but he goes hard up the court. He gets one of these contested rebounds. And the funny part is he was contesting the rebound with Davis, takes it from Davis because he's underneath him, pushes up the left side of the floor. And when you push like this, guys, if you just haven't done it in a while, anytime you move the ball like that, it just forces the defense to do some things. That's why like getting up the court quickly can be such an advantage. And he pushes up the left side of the floor and gets, to about the break and just makes a simple ball reversal to Anthony Davis. It's not like an outstanding pass, but because he had pushed so hard, the defense was not set. They were not in the right place. And Davis, who is not, this is probably my most regular criticism of him on offense is he doesn't attack the rim with sort of reckless abandon. Like he attacks it to get a short jumper instead of, a rim attempt. And he just blew right past the defender and threw the ball down. And I like that. It's simple basketball. There was a lot of simple basketball in the Mavericks offense tonight. And I thought AD, I've already seen some stuff online of people talking about it. Like, I didn't expect much from him this game. My expectation from game 1 was to not get hurt and to not force things. And he met my requirements.
Yeah. He ended up taking 5 jumpers, 1 3, 4 mid-rangers. He took more mid-rangers than I thought he did.
He had to take some bailout shots, though.
Yeah. He got some grenades at the end of the shot clock. He was 1 of 4. But, like we always say, he was 5 of 5 in the paint. Like he's still really good in the paint. So like you just try to get him as close to the basket as possible. I'm glad they played him at center. I guess, there was a part of me that was like, are they going to start him and Gafford and go back to double big? But I guess as long as Lively's hurt and they don't have a true backup center, I guess Kidd is going to roll with him. So I guess we won't really see truly what they're going to do with this lineup going forward until Lively gets back, and who knows when that's going to be.
That's right.
So we'll see there. But yeah, I mean, again, the best that they could do with the way this team is built is at least put everyone in their most comfortable spots, and they did that tonight. And they played their best point guards. It's Ryan Nembhard and Brandon Williams. Those are their 2 best point guards. Like D'Angelo Russell, like I'm sorry, he hasn't played well enough, even as someone who defended the signing a little bit. I actually thought this was kind of like, I wonder, like a cleanup game. Like Davis plays the 5, Nembhard starts, no Caleb Martin. He didn't play until the garbage time final 50 seconds. No Musa Cisse, which was a bummer to me. No Jaden Hardy. Like this felt like Kid tightening things up and being like, we're gonna play. Like it felt like this was him like playing guys that he thought could win him the game, and not just like playing guys because he feels like he has to play them.
Yeah,
like he didn't play Russell out of any album. Like he just straight up didn't play him. Didn't play Jaden Hardy. Didn't play Caleb Martin. Played, started a rookie two-way, point guard. So this felt like I don't know if this is going to be the rotation going forward because Kid has kind of jumbled things up a bunch this season, but I don't know. I noticed who was on the floor tonight, who was getting minutes. And I wonder if he's kind of had it. I mean, like Caleb Martin shouldn't play. Like he shouldn't play outside of garbage time. And he keeps getting these like the last like 2 weeks, he keeps getting these kind of spot minutes. And they're always they're always terrible. So this tonight felt like very purposeful Kid was with his rotation and his lineups. So I noticed that.
It's a good take. We're going to go to break real quick. There are 3 ways to support Pod Maverick. The first is to tell your friends if they are Mavs weirdos that like, I don't want to necessarily say we're hard hitting, but we're never going to sugarcoat how we feel because we're too old to lie. The second way to support Pod Maverick is to listen to the ads, which I'm about to put in here. The third way is if you're at all interested, there's a couple of links directly. If we don't have a subscription model or anything like that, Josh and I probably aren't going to go behind a paywall. So, that's just what you want to do. If you want to support Pod Maverick, we will be right back. All right. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and try to do so. We will be hosting a group therapy, even though it is very late. Our group therapy is our fan show where you can hop on, give me your takes and comments, and we can talk a little bit of basketball. Josh and I will be back tomorrow night with that Saturday night game against the Clippers. But we'll close out tonight because there's still plenty of things that we could discuss in this game. And I think we need to do our now kind of accidental tradition of talking about Cooper Flagg in the second half of the show. What was your take on his sort of role tonight?
I don't know why people are so mad about how he was used tonight. I understand everyone wants him to take like 25 shots a game and be the team's leading scorer. And I get it. The team is 5-15. Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but like it's over. Like the season is over. Yeah. Like in terms of that, like it's not over because the play-in is the biggest joke ever, and they could walk ass backwards into the 10th seed. But the 10th seed you're not a good team. We saw that last season. Right. The Mavericks were 10th seed, I believe, last season. What did that got them?
You can win a game. You can't win a series.
Yeah, So like they're 5-15. They play tomorrow at the Clippers, then they play at Denver, and like there's their next 4 games are Clippers, Denver, Miami, Oklahoma City, Houston. I'm going to keep going. Houston, Detroit, Philadelphia. 4 of those games are on the road. Like class as full as it could be. They win 2 of those games. So they're sure. They're going to be like 7-20 in about a week. At best case scenario, right. They might be 5-23 or whatever. Like it's over. They're just, and that's never fun to say before December 1st. The season's over, but it kind of is. So I get that there's this groundswell of like, get everyone out that's older than 30, play right. Everyone, play all the young guys. But that's, I get it, but like you kind of want Cooper Flagg to play with guys that are good, like because he's gonna have to. Like when the Mavericks are good, eventually when they go back to the playoffs with Cooper Flagg, it's gonna be like he's gonna be playing with other good players. Like I feel like as long as they're not deliberately icing him out, which has definitely happened a couple times, but as long as it doesn't get as egregious as Luka's rookie season, where it was Harrison Barnes and Wesley Matthews, just taking pull-up threes and dribbling the shot clock into eternity. Yeah. As long as Cooper feels involved, that's all that matters. Like he had 11 assists tonight. Like he was awesome. Like he touched the ball a lot. He was involved a lot. He just didn't score. He passed a lot, which is awesome because that's the thing about his game that we're wondering about. We know he could score. We know he can defend. It's can he play make and set others up for success has always been kind of like the final step. And he was awesome at that tonight.
Well, and I wrote
this was a good Cooper game. Like, I don't know why anyone would be mad about.
I don't think it's the
tonight.
game. I think it's more that like you watch and I wrote this in the recap where it's if you go and I know people hate when we talk about Luka, but it's a reference point and it's a comparison point. We have to. Luka is a one-of-one offensive talent. You are not getting a Luka Doncic replacement. Cooper is a different player. So you have to learn to expect different things. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself being disappointed in what Cooper isn't instead of what he is. And what he is preposterous. I mean, the defense, like he stripped LeBron on a fast break.
Yeah.
He stripped LeBron James on a fast break. And it was clean too. You could tell LeBron
and he
was
saved
like,
the ball in bounds and everything. Yeah.
I mean, the guy just does stuff in a way that you've got to grow to appreciate. If you've become used to heliocentric basketball with high-level scoring from three-point range guys, and you want that from Cooper, then you're just constantly going to be disappointed. I wrote during Summer League that I thought his IQ, his basketball passing, like his acumen and sort of thing was really off the charts. And I worried that we wouldn't get to see that fulfilled because the Mavericks wouldn't be able to hit shots. Tonight was a game where they were able to hit shots. We're going to see some of these things. I mean, a damn near triple-double because he's not necessarily ever going to be a high-volume rebound guy. He's going to be kind of a garbage guy in that respect. But you almost saw a triple-double. It's pretty impressive. 11 assists, 1 turnover, 36 minutes, 18 years old. Like just appreciate what he is. Now, I don't think there are that many people like this. I'm more speaking to the if you feel disappointed crowd. Because I think if you're feeling disappointed in Cooper, what you're really feeling disappointed in is the Mavericks. And right. That's a different discussion. And I would just sort of urge you to try to have those two competing things in your head. You know, there's an interesting comment in the chat. Black Phoenix Sun says Cooper can be the best number 2 in the league, and I want to emphasize that. Like, I think I agree with this take. I think that's a fairly likely outcome in terms of where he fits in an offensive structure. But because of his age and because of his sort of the limit does not exist with how good he's gotten on offense in like 2 years. I don't want to say what he can or can't do. I don't want to do that. I said too many dumb shit things about Jalen Brunson, who was much more of a finished player than Cooper Flagg is right now. So I just want to urge some sense of caution. And I'm not really, I'm the last person who should ever say shit like that, but it's just sort of something that's on my head,
Yeah. And as long as he's not getting like frozen out of games and touches, which, it's definitely happened this season. Like, this wasn't one of those times. Like, he was involved a lot. The only thing I would say that they could have done better is, the Lakers, the Lakers play, you got Luka, you have Austin Reeves. Luka's been okay defensively, but Austin Reeves isn't really great defender. And they, like Gabe Vincent, like they could have done maybe a better job of like getting Cooper into advantageous positions to score. But instead, he was passing well, like when he was met with resistance, because he was going up against LeBron and Rui Hachimura a lot, and those guys are big, like they can match him physically. So you could be like, okay, well, the Mavericks should have done better, maybe screening those guys off of him, getting him involved in different situations, so he's not just running into a brick wall. It's like, okay, but he met the brick wall and he made the right play. He had 1 turnover, he had 11 assists. He still shot somewhat like 13 points on 11 shots isn't amazing, but considering that he wasn't like getting schemed up like layups and dunks, and the offense played well too. Like, it's not like he had 11 shots and the team shot 37%. He had 11 shots and he had 11 assists, and the team had this was probably their best offensive game of the season. Seriously, it might have been.
I think it's either that or the Raptors game.
The Raptors game, yeah. So like, it's just hard for me to get too wound up about it. My thing is just don't put him in the corner and run everything away from him. As long as he's getting touches and he's involved, he doesn't always have to have 25 points to make it feel like he had a really productive game that's good for his growth. I mean, tonight was great for him.
Yeah. And I do, one more thing we didn't talk about at all. Maybe we did, but it's worth bringing up again. the Lakers, like you go into this game and you're looking at the box score numbers, and it's kind of a question of how the Mavericks were ever in the game at all. The NBA chart, the lead tracker, the Lakers led for most of the game. The Mavericks only had part of it. The Lakers, shot better from three, shot better from the field, shot better and more. I guess the Lakers shot a little worse from the line, but the Mavericks dominated the second chance points.
Yes.
26-4. Really
Mavericks had 91 field goal attempts. The Lakers had 76.
Like, this is, if the Lakers feel like they escaped with one and the Mavericks feel like they should have had this one, let's just say that I understand that point of view.
Yeah, I do too.
I
mean, this is a game. If the Mavericks played offensively, like if everything looked like this and like against the Heat, if they shot like this against the Heat, if they shot like this against Memphis or the Knicks, they win those games.
That's right.
Those are games that they've lost.
Yeah.
But also, so they were due to get bombed away from three because they haven't had an opponent shoot above 35% from three since November 12th.
Shout out to my Twitter friend Derek Lively Muse, who was like, so you mean, he said something to me the other day of like, so you mean to tell me that the Mavericks have just been lucky for 19 games? And like, let me just be clear. Yes.
Kinda, yeah. The shooting luck is insane.
Now, really, like, if I'm wrong and the Mavericks just like do this the whole year, the fact that they're the only team in the top 10 of defensive rating with a losing record. So it's like at a certain point we're arguing about the ashes after World War III. Like, who cares? Like, if the Mavericks can't win, some of this defensive stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah.
Okay, I think that's enough for me. You should go to bed because you were tired, and we have to do this again tomorrow. And both of us have to figure out how to parent small children in the cold.
Yep.
Oh God, what am I going to do? All right, stick around if you guys want to hang out with group therapy. Josh, there might be two things for you to look at editing wise, but otherwise you really should go to bed.
I should. One note. I don't know what the Mavericks defense was entering tonight. I think they were close to like top 3, right?
They were second, like defensive rating. Seriously, they were second.
Okay. Well, cleaning the glass after this game now has them at 8th.
Okay.
So so this game I think dropped. Hold on. Now I want to know.
That's rude.
Well, hold on. Let me look. So
yeah, some of these, and just while Josh is looking, I'll filibuster for a second. The reason these numbers are different are just due to slight calculations difference, where some of these, the more advanced pay for websites, like Cleaning the Glass, will do some things like filter out
garbage
the meaningless minutes, and that does make a difference. So
okay, so the Mavericks on Cleaning the Glass, before tonight they were 6th. Now they're 8th on defense.
Okay.
They were giving up 111.8 points per 100 possessions. Now they're giving up over 113. So that's actually like they dropped 2 points on their defensive rating, which is like a pretty big number. But I know we're still somewhat early in the season. But again, so they went from 6th to 8th. If they have another like 2 or 3 games where teams hit threes against them, they could go from 8th to 12th. So that's kind of what we're talking about.
Yes, that's right.
So,
okay, well, go forth. We'll talk tomorrow. Everybody else that wants to talk basketball, stick around. I will be right back after playing the music so I can figure out how to separate the podcast later. Everybody be good. Go Mavs. Hello, friends. Welcome to Pod Maverick Group Therapy. It's about 12:30 on Saturday morning, November 29th. The Dallas Mavericks lost to the Los Angeles Lakers, 129-119. It was one of the more surprisingly fun games for me of the season, but I think that's because I had wiped all expectation of winning and would have been pleasantly surprised had the Mavericks pulled through. If you are at all unfamiliar with our show, there is a link in the YouTube live stream that you can click and join in and participate if there's anything to say. Otherwise, I can sort of ask and answer questions from the chat if anyone has thoughts there. But right now, it's been a slow week in Mavs injury or in Mavs news. We got the news about Derek Lively that he's going to be out for a real long time. Potentially real long time is probably a better way to phrase that. I find myself extraordinarily frustrated with how that news has been handled, both by the Mavericks and then by the media that actually does reporting. I know it's difficult when the team is on the road to get certain questions answered. But if Derek Lively is going to be out for at least 7 to 10 days as his foot is swelling, I have questions about the reporting by the Mavericks. Because swelling is a symptom. Swelling is not a cause. So last year, if you guys will remember correctly, Lively essentially had I don't want to totally speak to this without shooting my mouth off, but they misdiagnosed what eventually became like a break in his foot as an ankle sprain. And that's not good. This is not, you can't do that. Is the short answer there. And he ended up missing the rest of the season, part of the summer. Came into the season healthy, apparently. Second or third game, he got a knee contusion, which he then missed a ton of games for. Came back and then was out almost immediately again, only now it's saying on the injury report that he was having a foot issue. And so I'm openly questioning the reporting by the Mavericks, not like the people that cover the team. I'm questioning what the Mavericks are reporting the medical, if he really did have a knee issue at all. The Mavericks don't deserve the benefit of the doubt here. Their medical staff has shown that they, quite frankly, don't know what they're doing. There's been turnover. There's been a lot of reporting done by Tim McMahon to show different issues. It's very frustrating. So, all right, I got my man Matt joining the show. We'll see if we have the audio figured out tonight. The last time he tried to join, we weren't able to do that. So, Matt, we will try to troubleshoot this live on air. And remember, guys, if you want to join the show, just click the link. What's going on, brother?
How you been, man? Haven't heard from you in a while.
I'm okay. It's one of these. This is going to be a tough year to sort of navigate. I come in with these expectations. This is the 19th one of these shows I've done.
Yeah.
And, you just I think only the hardcore people are really into this. Like when you win, you got to win at least some to keep people in the mix. So it makes me wonder if I'm going to be able to sort of keep up this pace, just because I don't want to talk to myself.
No, I feel that. And I don't want to be like, I heard you and Josh talking. I don't want to be, I'm one of those, might be one of those bandwagon people that you talk technically, but I still watch your show every day and I still.
That's different.
But I really wanted to call in. I just really wanted to call in for two things quickly. One about if I could do one thing not about the game and one thing about the game. I don't know if you
want to talk about.
I don't know if you remember this. We were at Thanksgiving a couple years ago. I was from Maryland, and I was going to go to the one game, and I was in one of these shows, and you actually told me to go to the game 6 for the Clipper. Yeah, my sister is actually a pretty good college basketball player now, and she had to talk to her coaches, and that was one of the it was really funny that we talked about that memory for 30 minutes the other day, and it made me think of you, and that's why I was trying to go on the show the other day to thank you, because this is why your show is so awesome, and it's so fun to connect with you people, because you know what I mean. So just wanted to thank you.
For context, Matt and I talked about this. I remember this now, where essentially I went on a live rant about how I missed Game 6 of the NBA Finals in 2011, which I had an opportunity to go to, and I was too worried about the cost of the ticket because I was 24 and had no money. And now that I'm 40 and or however close I am, it's like I just should have spent the money. I should have gone into debt for that. Like very rarely would I advise someone to do something, but it's like you never know what you're going to miss. And like these, very rarely are these tickets that bad, like to where it's really going to kill you. So that's a good one.
It was just so funny, yeah. And then that was a good memory. So I just wanted to. I haven't talked to you in a while, and I was just appreciating it again. So, but one thing I just noticed from the game, I've been watching it a lot, and this kind of gets in with the trades and everything. But are you surprised that I really like how Cooper played today? But don't you feel like I watched Cooper at Duke, and one thing I've loved about Cooper is that he can just make every play possible. He can pass and he can score. It just seems like I don't know if it's just they're not getting him open, or they're not getting him open, not giving him the ball in the right spots, or it's just who's around him. It just seems like everything he has to do for passing and scoring is so freaking hard. Like it seems like they do nothing to make it easy for him. Like, do you feel that's more that it's just he has Davis and Gafford and there's little spacing, or just I don't know, just watching it again tonight, it was so crazy to see how much little space he had, and just like I don't know. I'm trying to
This is a tough one because when he's playing with PJ and he's playing with Davis, I think between the three of them, teams don't really care about their shooting, so they're just going to kind of bunch up a little bit. There's not the space, but then there's the secondary thing of I think that everyone that watches Cooper and Josh just sort of he hinted around this, where he's like, if it's a lost season, Mavs are 5-15. Part of me wants Cooper to be more selfish. And I just don't think you can ask that of him because that's not who he is.
No, that's what I definitely think he is. It's just like, and I'm not trying to say this, like, I think you need to get Davis the hell out of there as quickly as possible, man. I know I wasn't expecting anything from him, but I don't think him and Cooper fit at all. Like, I actually think the best lineup is they ran it for a couple minutes. He had I think it was Najee, Christie, PJ and Cooper. Like I know they don't have a center there, but you're playing with what Cooper's 6'9", PJ 6'9", Najee 6'9". Like there's so much length on the court, and there's just so much spacing. The spacing is just so bad right now for him. It just seems like I agree with you. I like him to be more aggressive, but it just seems like everything's so hard, and they don't run any plays for him. I'm not saying I want him to score every time, but it's just you know what I mean. Get him the ball in the elbow and clear out for him, and give him a little bit of space. You know what I mean? But
yeah. Well. And so, we got Gene Paul in the chat saying Luka moved flag on a drive like Coop was a 6'2" player. And I was thinking about this in the context of what you're talking about, where Cooper, part of why I think they're really dead set on playing him with the center, despite the fact that he could probably be a pretty good small ball 5 one day, is the fact that he is just so damn skinny right now. There were a couple. I don't know if you did you watch this on Amazon Prime tonight?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I really like this. Is ridiculous. This is me being just nuts. But like I have during COVID, I bought a preposterously too big television, and most sports kind of look like ass on it because it's still shot. Like most sports are still shot on this looked like a high quality broadcast. They were getting up on players during halftime or during timeouts and stuff. And Cooper looked very much 18 tonight. And that's the first time in a couple of games I thought this, because you see him next to Luka, and he and Luka are ostensibly about the same height. I think Cooper's probably a little taller. But it's like Cooper will one day be bulkier enough to where he's able to hold his own in some of these bigger lineup positions. But did you see what happened to him and Ayton a couple of times?
But to be fair I will say to Cooper though, I think he snatched LeBron's chain 3 times too on the I agree with you on the skinniness part, and but also I grew up liking Duke. I was a big Duke guy because of Coach K. Last year they had I can never say his name.
Malawak.
Yeah, and him and Cooper had insane chemistry on the pick and roll, but they don't do that at all for him. If you're gonna play, what's the point of playing Gafford with Cooper at all if you're not gonna have run a pick and roll with him and not have him play the court guard? You know what I mean? It was just they
do
give
something
him
where you get a 2-man action on the side where two good basketball players can use their basketball skills together. And then there was the one fast break play where Cooper fed AD for a dunk. And like that was the only time I felt that they were involved in any fast-paced action. Like there was a couple of other plays, but not a lot.
And then the other play that was funny, the only other play he had space was, I think the shot clock was running out and he was going to throw up a floater and he threw a sick pass to Nemhard. Like, you see, when you give him space, it's just, like, that's what I'm saying. You see it, dude, once you give him space, but I know the team, so, you know what I mean? It was just frustrating that they never give him any space.
Well, that's where Lively being hurt is just so damn frustrating because Lively, I think we still haven't even come close to seeing his varied skill set on the NBA court.
No,
he's only been allowed to do a certain small number of things. And when the Mavericks got Cooper when they won the lotto, I was thinking a whole lot about that two-man game you were just describing with Cooper and Malawak, where it's like, gosh, there's some there because Davis he's just so odd play to play where sometimes he's like, yes, contact. And then other times he's like, don't touch me. And then there's Gafford who just seeks out contact all the time. But at the end of the day, Gafford's smaller.
No, that's what the point is. Like, especially, I totally agree with you. Like, and then Davis, it's like, I'm not trying to like hate on Davis all the time, but it's like, Jesus Christ, can he come like he wants like I don't know. Tonight was just you know what I mean. I'm a Luka guy. I thought it was kind of and this is last thing. Can they get over like could you believe that they actually double teamed Luka like the whole effing game like they thought like I know I'm somebody who likes like I wasn't surprised, but I'm like they got to get over this. Like it's like they got to get over it themselves. Like they can't do this shit anymore. Like, I don't know. It was bullshit to me, but,
The kid stuff is...
I couldn't believe he did that. The first play, I'm like, oh, the Lakers going to win easy
tonight.
There's
some trolling going on here. Like, I want to, Kid is a master, okay, of manipulation. Like, I still think he was over the summer. He was like, letting reporters know Jason Kidd might be interested in the New York Knicks job from according to sources close to Jason Kidd, and I think he must have realized whether or not he was part of the Luka Derade. He
always will be a part of it.
Go to my grave thinking he was, but I have gotten lectured by people who know more than me that are just like, nope, he really wasn't. And I'm like, okay, but I think he started to position himself by like March, so like a month after the trade, where he was like, "This is bad." And then with the signing of D'Angelo Russell this summer, did you see the video of like D'Angelo?
Yeah, I was gonna say that the rotations were pretty funny tonight, huh?
That's right. And so he's basically out, and Kidd isn't going to play him. So I'm like, I'm sitting here wondering as we get further away from this. Did Kidd cede like full and total control to Nico at some point and say, this guy's going to dig his own grave? And then instead of playing, because, he started Cooper at point guard, not playing D'Angelo Russell. Like, I'm wondering at what point did Kidd tank the Mavericks? Like,
no, that's fair, to be honest with you. Yeah. Especially after Davis got hurt, there was the writing on the wall, and you can even see you could actually see how he coached it. He coached it totally different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's one of those silly things I'll be thinking about for a long time. Patrick in the chat says Kidd would rather lose to the rest of the Lakers than let Luka go off. I mean, I think there's something to that, but
I'm not trying to be like a but also if you watch the Lakers, Reeves and them have been playing good, but like
since when is doubling Luka ever actually?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, and Reeves has kind of been cold from three. You give him wide open threes and he goes off. Like, you can't. I
say you do something like if I really want to, if I wanted Luka to play a bad game, I would insult him in a way that dares him to try to take advantage of a matchup. Yep. Like, there's no real way to stop Luka. Luka stopped
and let him shoot those step back three. He was only 30% for step back three. I'll go ahead, shoot 14 step back threes and go 2 for 14.
Bullshit one he hit to start the second half. I think where it hit the front of the rim and you're like, great, it falls short, but the spin on it was so perfect that it pulled the ball forward. And I'm just like, come on.
I thought you were going to talk about the one with Clay, man. I felt bad for Clay.
That was straight up disrespectful.
Man, every time I think about Clay, I'm like, oh, Clay got the puppy dog eyes. I'm like, oh my God.
Poor
Clay didn't deserve this, but yeah.
Clay's gonna
So
go. Well,
so
hey man, I
thanks,
appreciate
Kurt.
you.
It's
You're gonna
great
be the
talking to
only
you, man.
person. Yeah, no, please come back at some point. All right, talk soon. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Looks like another light night here on group therapy. Looks like people don't believe in therapy anymore. That or nobody's up late enough because it's been I don't know about some of you guys, but my kids have been home since forever. I don't know if they're ever going back to school. Just feel so. It's like my brain is now 100% mashed potatoes. Josh and I'll be back tomorrow night. Maybe it'll be a more interesting game. I mean, I'm pretty sure Kawhi Leonard's going to play. So for as bad as the Clippers may have been, Kawhi Leonard is still, oh my God, good. And James Harden was remarkably good the last time these two teams played. And I also hate playing Zubac. So I think that game will probably be a good one too. Hope you join us for that one. This has been Kirk Henderson of Pod Maverick Group Therapy. Everyone have a I got to read this before I go out of here. I missed this earlier. Super chat from Blue Tortoise Sports saying these AD post-game quotes are about to be the worst thing you've ever heard. I'm mad I missed that in the chat. That's really funny. All right, everybody be good. Enjoy your Saturday. We will talk soon. Go Mavs.